Hey, y'all. You like the vibes? Do a quick little sound check. Okay. All right. You see the title? This is not gonna be a consistent thing as far as like me streaming every episode, but welcome to the new series, man. I felt this video, so I only watched. Oh shoot, hold on. I only got through like I think like 9 minutes of this video. Before I was like, I gotta react to this. I have to do like at first I was just gonna do like a little reaction recording. And then whenever I realized the game was free, I was like, okay, hold on. Let me actually check it out. And I haven't cracked the game open yet. I haven't seen uh anything of the physical game. I have it downloaded already on my Xbox. So that's ready whenever we get past the video. But so this is a YouTube video titled The Xbox's Forgotten Masterpiece. Um and it's about this game called Phantom Dust. It looks really cool. I'm not even gonna like go too deep into it because you'll see. Um let me take these off real quick. Um Sorry. Let me just info labels. Yeah, all of that gone. Okay. All right. But yeah. Um yeah, the video, well, we're going to react to the video and then we're going to play the game. Um so I want to do like a if this goes well, I'm going to, chop this up. Yada yada. Upload it to my YouTube page as like an actual reaction. Um but I would like to do this new series called Only the Classics, where I just do like old school video games and stuff that either is like old school. Like this is on the original Xbox. So this is old. But it looks fairly decent. I'm not gonna cap. But or just stuff that like amongst the community has been agreed upon. Like this is one of them. One of them ones. So what does Zia say? Or if you know Zia, if you know, you know. But he's like, without further ado, let's get it going. Oh, wrong click.
Today, I'm going to tell you about a game that happens to be my favorite video game of all time, bar none. And a game that, were it not for an extremely unlikely rescue operation conducted here in the United States, likely would have never seen the light of day at all. This is the story of how the Xbox's best game vanished and then suddenly reappeared. And the game I'm talking about is a game called Phantom Dust.
It already looks like it's giving me
This game,
like
I
Devil May
believe,
Cry
is a
vibes.
true masterpiece, but you don't have to take my word for it. A while back, I snuck a little bit of footage of Phantom Dust into my second-person video, which led to comments like these. This game just tends to elicit some really effusive praise from those of us who played it.
This is actually my personal all-time favorite game. I like this.
Shut up,
more than
fighting
Witcher,
cowboy.
Dark Souls, and Monster Hunter, and Neo, and everything. There is nothing I
See, when
enjoy as
he
much
said
as
that
Phantom Dust.
because like I said,
So what are these people talking about? What is it about?
I've gotten through the first 11 minutes of this video. Bro, when he said that at first, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you kind of, you pushing it, you know, you exaggeration type vibes. But I thought about it and I was like, no, like there's like Skate 2. Skate 2 for one is a game. You good, Bubba? Okay. Stay there, okay? Stay. Um and my little pupper. But Skate 3, sorry, not Skate 2. Skate 3 is one of them ones for me. Like I love that game and it tops almost everything for me. The only game that comes close to it is Prototype 2. That's like those are like my two games of like I want to say like my like late child to early teen type vibes. So I can understand what he was saying.
About this game that left such an indelible impression on seemingly everyone who played it, myself included. Honestly, it's hard to decide where to start because top to bottom, everything about Phantom Dust is an anomaly. There's its ageless, never imitated nor duplicated game design. There's its intensely Y2K tinged visual and musical aesthetic.
When I first saw it, I was like, "Whoa, what is this? What is this game? It looks like Cyberpunk, but it looks like it came out in, 2000 or early 2000s."
There's its graphics, which seem to be a full generation ahead of its time. I mean, remember, this is an Xbox game that, for some reason, looks like a late generation 360 game at worst. So, okay, how about this? Let me start with a question. What if card games were real? Or, like, maybe I'm not saying that right, but okay, so you know how card games usually depict something pretty action-packed, say a fight between a knight and a dragon, or a goblin being incinerated by a magical spell?
Yep.
Like, let's say you're playing Magic the Gathering with a friend, and you throw a massive fireball directly at your opponent's head. In theory, that sounds cool, but in practice, it often ends up just looking like this. And look, I love Magic, but you gotta admit, that's a little bit anticlimactic, right? And so, the question Phantom Dust asks is, what if, instead of looking like this, card games looked like this? See, for a certain audience, myself included, digital card games can be great. I play Magic the Gathering Arena almost every single day, and I played Hearthstone for years on end, but I also suspect that there's a lot of people out there who see the words digital card game and just instinctively turn away because those words can make it sound a little dry or a little boring. And I think Phantom Dust is the cure to that problem. This game supposes, what if there was a card game that felt like an action game, but kept everything cool about card games? What if digital card games had gameplay that was actually as exciting as the things they depict? So that instead of playing like this, they played more like this. Obviously that's a cool concept, but it's also easier said than done, and it would take a truly brilliant, one-of-a-kind game designer to execute that idea properly and make something actually fun to play. Enter legendary Japanese game designer Yukio Futatsugi. Now you may not know Futatsugi-san by name, but it's highly likely you've at least heard of his work, in particular the cult classic Panzer Dragoon series. Now, Phantom Dust is not just a continuation of the PD acronym he started with Panzer Dragoon, it also builds on Futatsugi-san's legacy of making games that are deeply beloved by a small but very loyal group of people. In fact, it turns out if you read old interviews of Yukio Futatsugi, that was always what he wanted this game to be. Quote, "I want to create something with permanence, something that will remain in the hearts of the group of people I made the game for. Something for those who are starving for a new experience, something that will stay fresh and unique 10 years after its release. Something that uses graphics and sound to leave a mark in the minds of players. Something that doesn't look like any other game. That's what I want to create." And viewer, I can promise you one thing, he succeeded. I can't overstate this. If you have ever enjoyed a card game, digital or physical, you owe it to yourself to at least try Phantom Dust. Hell, even if you don't like card games,
And that's where he low-key got me, because I don't know if anyone's ever played The Witcher 3, which most people have played The Witcher 3, but there's this card game in The Witcher 3 called Gwent. And I found myself, like, I don't know if he kind of threw like a little shot at Gwent earlier in the beginning of the video, but I don't really care. Because like he expresses it in the video where it's like a lot of people think of like card games or like these other type of forms of entertainment, and they think of like the lackluster anticlimactic kind of style. But to like its core fan base, there's like a really big love for this kind of stuff. So I found myself spending a good amount of hours playing Gwent inside of The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3, if you know what The Witcher 3 is, that is a huge game. Which, by the way, just got like a really, really big update. Excuse me, sorry. Oh my god. Freaking orange soda. Just got a huge update, and is like, it looks great. I actually was gonna make it like, I didn't want to say I was gonna do like a whole series, but I'm gonna do at least a video on it, on like the update. But that card game is not super fleshed out in the game, but it's still fun. It was still super fun, and I find myself spending so much time playing this small little card game that's inside of a AAA open world RPG game. You know, so that's where he got me. Where I was like, dang, you know what? I know what he's talking. I know what he means. Where it's like you don't expect it to be as fun as it is, but it hit.
if you find them too boring or not interactive enough, I sincerely think this game was built for you. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What is this game exactly? Like, how does it work? Here is a super quick summary. Phantom Dust is an arena combat game where 2 to 4 players, each with 20 health, share the goal of trying to reduce their opponent's health to 0. Each of these players brings with them a deck of cards they've built called an arsenal, which contains 30 different cards called skills. At the start of each game, players spawn on opposite corners of the arena and are dealt a hand of 4 random cards from their deck. These white cards are known as aura particles, and these are the currency you spend to play your cards, the equivalent of mana in other card games. Each time you consume an aura particle from your hand, your level permanently goes up by 1, and so for instance, if you've consumed 3 aura particles, your level is 3, which means you can play any card that costs 3 or less. Now once you spend mana to play a card, your level will drop by that card's cost, but slowly will recharge back up to whatever your level is, and then you can spend that mana all over again however you want. So that's the basics, and with that out of the way, we can talk about the really fun part, the cards.
Look.
Sorry, I thought somebody was knocking on my door.
Skills. Oh, care to try it?
It's alive! Face that.
The cards, known again in-game as skills, each have a few components. There's the cost, which is how much mana it costs to use, the strength, which is how much damage it does if it hits, how many times you can use it, most skills can either be used once or an infinite number of times, and crucially, the attack's intended range. See, most of the time in Phantom Dust, you will be locked onto your opponent. And while that's happening, the reticle targeting them will indicate whether they're considered a short, medium, or long distance away, each indicated by a different color. So, for example, a short-range skill like Psycho Blade is obviously best used up close right in your opponent's face, whereas a long-range skill like Octo Laser is drastically more effective when you're far away. Now, the reason I describe that as the intended range leads me to one of my favorite things about Phantom Dust. Often, descriptors like short range or long range aren't requirements, they're mere suggestions. That's part of the beauty of Phantom Dust. There's plenty of quote-unquote long-range skills in the game that are perfectly effective at medium or even close range, something that's only possible because Phantom Dust is a 3D real-time video game. And that leads us right to one of my absolute favorite things about Phantom Dust: the way this game takes normally rigid card game mechanics and applies them to combat in large-scale 3D physical arenas. This, in my mind, is truly the heart and soul of Phantom Dust. This is the thing that sets this game apart from a normal card game and makes each battle play out completely differently. And to help me illustrate this point, I'm going to give you a quick comparison. Let's take a direct damage burn spell from Magic the Gathering and put it up against a comparable spell in Phantom Dust. So here we have Lava Axe from Magic, which reads, Lava Axe deals 5 damage to target player. This card is extremely straightforward. It basically does exactly what it says, the same exact way every time you play it. You pay 5 mana, and assuming no one counters it, it does 5 damage to your opponent every time. Simple. Now for comparison's sake, let's look at the Phantom Dust skill Bullet of Fire. Much like Lava Axe in Magic, Bullet of Fire is a straightforward card. You pay 2 mana, and it deals 2 damage to your opponent. But unlike in Magic the Gathering, where this attack is relatively abstract, I throw a fireball at you dealing X damage.
Which
in
obviously,
Phantom Dust,
like,
this
none of
fireball
that
attack
would really mean anything. Like seeing like the 2 damage, the 1 damage, the 2 damage, the 1 damage, like none of that would mean anything if you didn't know that like you were like everyone starts at 20 health and you're trying to get everyone down to 0. That's like definitely we're not gonna watch this full 45-minute video. I just honestly wanted to come on here and do like a quick little reaction. And then drop the video for it. But
is now exteriorized in a 3D game world. And this literalization of card game text opens up a tremendous amount of possibilities. So now, instead of I throw a fireball at you for 2 damage, you've got outcomes like I throw a fireball at you, but you duck behind a nearby wall, negating the attack.
That's fire. And that's what environmental damage. I was like,
fireball.
environmental damage in whatever 2000, whatever early 2007, 6, whatever. Like for that to happen, and for games that advertise it in today's world and still not get it right.
At you, and it knocks you out of midair, interrupting your attack and sending you hurtling 15 feet onto the concrete below, the impact from which causes you to take additional damage. Or I throw a fireball at you and it hits a pillar holding up a huge chunk of the environment, causing the whole thing to collapse onto both of us, dealing a massive amount of damage. Now, these are just a few examples of how combat can go down in Phantom Dust, and these elements, the fact that the combat is real time, that the environments are highly destructible, that players can play with things like gravity and invisibility and speed buffs and debuffs, all of these things come together to create a tremendous possibility space for each battle you play. In this context, even the most rote and vanilla card game mechanics take on a whole new meaning. Suddenly something as simple as I cast Lightning Bolt on you for 3 damage becomes I cast Lightning Bolt on you, but you notice the storm clouds forming and cartwheeled out of the way in time, or I cast Lightning Bolt on you, but you happen to step under a bridge at that exact moment, which protected you from the strike. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more depth to this game that I could possibly summarize in one video, including the fact that there's stuff that's not even printed on the card, like the ability to throw fireballs in midair with certain spells, and it's not all fireballs. Like, there's orbital skills that attack you from above. There's crawlers that come across the ground. There's mines you can plant in the ground that opponents can totally miss, causing them to take damage or get frozen. And it gets crazier because all we've talked about so far is attack skills, the red skills. Phantom Dust also has defensive skills, these blue ones, which can block and even reflect opponent attacks. Erase skills, which can delete specific cards from your opponent's hand. Status skills, which can buff you or debuff your opponents. Special skills, which do all sorts of crazy stuff, like let you jump 30 feet in the air, or fly, or turn invisible. There's even something called environmental skills that will alter the rules of the game for everyone in the match.
This is orthodox way for skills by 50%.
Now, if you're anything like me, just hearing about the existence of all these different types of attacks probably fills your head with possibilities, and one of the remarkable things about Phantom Dust is how well it explores these possibilities. Phantom Dust ultimately, after a few patches, which, yeah, they did content patches in an original Xbox game,
2001 to
wound up
2004.
containing over 350 different cards, each with its own quirks and interesting use cases. Oh yeah, and then there's the single player, which I somehow haven't mentioned yet. This game had a full-fledged single-player campaign over 40 hours long, with this moody, mysterious story, tons of cutscenes, a sprawling underground hub world of survivors you can talk to and take on missions from, cooperate with, and some really insane scenarios and boss fights to go up against. And
Fire edit, fire edit, fire edit. And that's where we come in. Let's get straight to it. Like I said, the rest of the reaction will be on my YouTube channel. Which if you're watching me on YouTube, you're already there. I'm gonna upload that. But let's like go straight to the game real quick. You know? We've been on for almost 30 minutes. Play for like a cool 30-minute reaction, 30-minute gameplay. Let's do it. Okay, cool. God, it was working. Phantom Dust. The game is a work of fiction. Any names, persons, places, organizations, situations have no relation to actual events. In addition, battle fight scenes are dangerous. Please do not imitate them. Okay. All right. Oh, hello. Are you frozen? What happened? Hello. Sheesh. Create a new player. Ooh. And an audio. Skill days are here. Visit Phantom Dust every day and sign in Xbox Live to get a new multiplayer skill. Visit at least 4 days within a week to get bonus multiplayer skills. Is this game still being serviced? Weekly reset every Tuesday at 5 p.m. You've earned today's skill reward 316. Disremember. Alright. Key week. Reward progress 1 of 4. Scenario mode. Play the story as let's do some single player for a little bit. That's kind of hard. Leader. The head of the visions. Most have never heard his voice. He communicates through spokesmen?
Nobody remembers anything. Not when the world changed, nor why. A mysterious dust poisoned the surface, affecting the brains of humans and stealing their memories. Strange apparitions began to appear. Humans fled their devastated cities. Only underground could humans escape the demons and the dust.
Mr. Cyclops. If one of my homies gets blasted, I'm probably gonna move out the way.
The dust took from us, but to some, it gave something new. The ability to transform their will into energy. This is the new breed, the Espers, risk their lives searching the surface world for clues. Clues on the surface that might let us recover the memories we've lost.
bit cultish, don't you think?
It's here. What I'm searching for. Something important. Something irreplaceable. Something I lost. I must go.
Boom, number 1. Man with amnesia. I'm expecting someone to come to my house. Already kind of controls cool. Like, nice. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Who are you? His face. Wait a minute. Who am I? What is this place? Hey, tell me. What? You've lost your memory too? Shoot! What the hell's going on? W acting. I'm gonna have flesh running around. Visuals are kind of trippy. Okay, but why can't I go nowhere? Tell me what's really going on. Drizzy back up in this thing and ready. Hello? The cameras? I'm sure somebody's watching us. Can you let me out, please? Is that...
Finally woken up, I see.
Yeah, it's you.
Were you the one that brought us here? Why don't you tell us what happened?
Yeah,
You've no memory at all, is that right? Just an image of some ancient ruins. And a strange gut feeling that you have to go there.
But how did you know that?
Everybody's the same, all of us. Now you.
Oh, it's like programmed.
Please, follow me. I'll explain everything once we arrive.
They look like today's like version of BTS, to be honest. Ain't nothing weird. I guess they depicted the future, right?
It happened just like I told you. None of us remembers anything. We live in this world we don't understand, with people without memories wandering around, with monsters roaming the surface and these strange particles. and paranormal skills.
I see. This place is like the lost and found counter at a catastrophe discount store. So, we're lost sheep with no memory. Just like you.
There is one difference. The two of you were found in strange metal pods. But Leader says we are all lost souls. All we have left is this underground world. And our scraps of memories and the image of the ruins in our heads.
The ruins. The image I saw in my dream.
Yes. Go ahead and
Leader says that the fact we all share the same image must be more than mere coincidence. He's right, I think, and so we are systematically searching the surface world for the ruins. We hope you can help with that search as well.
Are you saying you want us to join the visions?
with this flute in the back.
We are very short-handed, especially when it comes to people with skills.
But I am haunted by the ruins.
And apparently a flute.
I'll give it some thought.
Such a generous man is our leader. Leader says, Edgar, take your time.
Okay, so we got a name.
You don't mind us calling you Edgar, do you? We saw your locket, too. You care about the woman in the photograph, don't you? Perhaps
Dang,
helping us
invasive?
will lead you to find her.
Ain't been awake more than 5
And
minutes.
you.
You already told my
We should
private
find a
business.
name for you as well. You need a name even if you don't have memories. Just
mean, none of
pick
your
a name
business.
that sounds good to you, and we'll call you that.
Oh, okay.
Everyone picks their names here.
Cool.
Or
Unless you're
perhaps
Edgar.
you're one of the lucky ones who remembers his real name?
Seems you don't recall your name. Here's some options. Based on the location where you two were found, we'll call you Alpha. It means where all things begin. It also means the unknown. Work. I know. From now on, I'll call you Alpha. That's your name. First things first. Go meet Meister, the combat instructor. He's waiting for you two in the battle terminal. Alrighty, my darlings. That is it for today. Love you guys. Have a great day. YouTube has been fun. I'll see you more. The rest of the reactions uploading by the end of this week.